Okay, so I wrote my paper on advanced maternal age, which actually fit perfect for me since I'm getting old and I fit the advanced maternal age perfectly. I've been really, another reason I chose this because I've been really, really interested in having children, but put it off because of the busy life that I have with work and wanting to advance my career and go further. So it's been kind of gone from advanced maternal age, thinking of having a child. Now, after writing this paper, I think I'm just set on adoption. There's several things that are known. The age range, you're known as elderly prima gravida, 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 gravida. Um, which I thought was interesting because it's from 35 to 40. 35 is when the advanced stage pretty much starts, 35 and up. It's also very, the complications go up. The chance of having a miscarriage goes up extremely, way more than I even knew. Um, Another thing, a lot of people think it's just the women, but there's also such thing as advanced paternal age because women are born with all of their eggs that they'll have for a life. Men's sperm, comes throughout life. But as women's eggs get small, less and less and less as they get older, so do men's sperm. So it's not always the woman's fault, which amen to women. Um, Another thing from a medical point of view that I went on, you have the increased risks of type 2 diabetes, having placenta previa, breech position birth, emergency C sections. Um, you'll, from what I had read, you'll rarely see a vaginal birth with an advanced um, maternal age. Another thing that they do that I had no clue of was the biological profile, the BPP. It's performed at 36 weeks until delivery of the fetus, which for older women is definitely recommended as being important. Let's see. We'll always have our bleeding irregularities. Perimenopause is another thing which most of the problems, health problems, are associated with for advanced maternal aging. Sorry. And then a fact that is pretty much well known, your the risk of Down syndrome in your fetus goes up substantially also. It's not just set on the age, there's also genetic risks that play a big part of that. But I was blown away with you have a ratio of an embryo having Down syndrome at 10 weeks of pregnancy was 1 in 53 at the age of 40 and 1 in 19 at the age of 45. A ratio of a baby being born with Down syndrome is 1 in 85 at age 40, and it's 1 in 35 at age 45. So, as you can see, shoot, 1 in 19 babies when you're 45 or older and having a child. Wow. Wow, that the system still works or is still booting and everything. Stillbirth also increases drastically with age, which is something that scares the bejeebus out of me for any woman. Going through the 9 months of being attached to that child and then having a stillbirth, that would just crush me. Um, Hands down, hands down, it would. Social considerations to think of again, uh, not just with my career, but I wanted to make sure because I'm not married. I honestly don't think I'll ever get married. I don't really want to be married. Um, but I do want a child. I want to give to another child, but I've also been one who I want to be financially stable. Yes, I've been stable since 25, but again, growing my career and getting really into it is something that played a big role above a child. Um, but I want to be able to provide for my child as a single income household where we don't have to rely on anybody else. That's one of my biggest things. Growing up in a family that provided and, we had whatever we wanted. I want to give that to my child, but I don't want to have to borrow. The horror stories I hear from my mother of how she grew up and, you know, in a single family household with my grandmother, and she was a great woman, but just it scares me of one back in the 50s of how, divorce was not big, but then being a single mother was not big either. Yes, times have changed, the social aspect of it has changed, but the financial aspect of it has not. Uh, um, Another thing that I've looked on is the legal and ethical ramifications. I'm one. I don't care if you're pink, blue, purple, orange, topaz, turquoise. I'm still gonna love you 100%. Part of me really, really wants to adopt outside of my race because of the fact I don't care. I just want to provide and I want to love. And again, you can be a rainbow and I'll still love you unconditionally. Aw, that's about all. All in a nutshell, the conclusion of it, you're old when you're old, your pipes don't work as well, your gardening system isn't really up to date. So, from the conclusion of what I got from writing this paper, adoption's the best gig. Thank you. Hope I wasn't confusing.